Hello, and welcome to our final production update video of 2022. I'm Nicholas Zabaly, the producer of The Flower. Today, we'll be showcasing some finished animation for the very first time.
Hello, I'm Andrew Simmons, the director of The Flower. The path of making an animated film is long, and color is the reward that comes at the end of the process. I should know, I started my career at Disney as an ink and paint artist working with real paints on actual acetate cells. Back then, we used proprietary paints at Disney, and we also purchased paint colors from Cartoon Color. The original animation lines were then copied directly onto an acetate cell using a Xerox process, which is a lot like using a copier today, however it was 3 rooms long at the time. After 1990, when we finished Roller Coaster Rabbit and The Prince and the Pauper, the Florida studio switched to the CAP system for digital painting. That was the end of my days in ink and paint, and I moved on to animation camera and Final Check after that. But little did I know, decades later, I would be back to painting again, on my own short film, no less.
Painting is the end of our journey, but before we get there, we have to have animation. And for that, we've been incredibly fortunate to work with amazing rough and cleanup animators. The process begins with the storyboard and layout for a scene. Last time, we talked about the background layouts. Once those are done, we have our first pass of rough animation.
All of the Young Samurai scenes done at Disney, including this one, were animated by Patrick Tordo. At Disney, Patrick worked on Lilo and Stitch and Mulan, and has since worked on Nico and the Sword of Light. And I was happy to have him as an original member of my crew.
When we restarted production in 2021, we worked with our new team to refine the existing animation. This pass was done by Nelson Cabrera Corbello, who has worked on Green Eggs and Ham and Descendants, The Royal Wedding. Nelson was the very first rough animator to join when we restarted production, and we are truly grateful for him helping us get started again. Next was the cleanup animation pass. We've been fortunate to work with Emmanuel Codilla, a cleanup animator in the Philippines, who has worked on the film Nahuel and the Magical Book. Iman has become our most prolific cleanup animator, and has now done more than half the character scenes in the film.
Iman also helped in between this existing animation of The Flower, which was done by Steve McDermott. While at Disney, Steve also worked on The Emperor's New Groove and has gone on to do effects for Klaus as well.
And finally, after all that work, we have the finished version, painted by Simin Huang and Andrew.
For our other Young Samurai scenes, we followed the same process. We began with Patrick's rough animation, had Nell refine the work, received Iman's finishing touches, and finally had Winry color the scene.
In scene 9.5, we had the same lineup of artists, with Patrick's original rough animation from Disney, Nell's adjustments, Iman's cleanup, and Wenry's painting. But after that, we decided we wanted to have some additional performance alterations. We are having another of our artists, Qinhua Yu, add some additional frames to the end of the scene to better connect with the next shot. This is an example of how we are always refining our work to improve it. Coincidentally, Qinhua is one of our top animators of The Flower itself. You'll be learning a lot more about her in our subsequent videos.
Since the inception of the film, we've always paid particular attention to ensuring that the lady is drawn with sensitive, emotional line work. In this scene, animated at Disney by Ronnie Williford, he brought the lady to life with beauty and grace. Ronnie also worked on Atlantis, The Lost Empire, and Brother Bear before moving on to a prolific career as a landscape and wildlife artist.
When it came time to clean up Ronnie's work, we immediately gave it to Simin Huang, the very first cleanup animator to join our team when we restarted production in 2021. Simin's cleanup lines have provided the guide for everything we have done on the film since. And with Wenry and Andrew's painting skills, we're proud to show this as one of our finest scenes. It's now my pleasure to introduce you to Simin.
大家好，我叫黄思敏， 我是负责The Flower 主要的亲线工作，也是这部动画电影自2021年恢复制作后第一位加入的亲线动画师。我主要是负责影片中女主角的场景部分。我来自中国，在我大学毕业后，我就考入了日本东京造型大学，继续攻读动画方面的研究生。现在我已经毕业，在日本的一家名为 Special Nico Company 的动画公司工作，主要的工作内容是商业动画、动画广告和 MV 等方面。我在日本的这段时间，除了接触到日本文化的同时，也感受到日本动画和中国动画的不同之处。我学生时代主要研究的是绘本改编动画，所以日本的传统文化其实给予我非常多的灵感，并且在我对于绘本的整个体系的研究过程当中，也深刻地感受到了各国不同的表现风格。例如大学时期改编的法国绘本的 Read 就充满了非常多浪漫和幻想的色彩，而我在日本改编的绘本动画 Bakemono Della 则蕴含了更多神秘内敛的韵味。所以我非常高兴能够参加这次的 Flower 的制作，这让我能够有机会接触和了解更多来自不同国家的国际艺术家们是如何诠释和看待动画制作的。这种来自思想和专业上的碰撞是非常吸引我。The Flower 也是我第一次参与迪士尼风格的动画，我很高兴能有机会为迪士尼多年前完成的动画进行一个亲线的工作，也很高兴能有机会和安德鲁以及尼古拉斯，还有我的朋友黄文瑞，他是负责这部动画中的背景部分，也是他带我进入这个动画制作的，包括还有其他为这部动画影片做出贡献的国际艺术家们。谢谢大家，我很期待可以和大家一起看到完整的影片。
All of the scenes we've shown today are likely to be further improved between now and the final versions. This continued work has been made possible by you, our supporters and backers. In 2023, we aim to finally cross the finish line and complete production on our film, but we still need a little more funding to make it possible. So, if you can, please donate on our website and stay tuned for more ways you can help.
Thank you so much to everyone who reached out with support, donations, and artistic contributions this year. We wouldn't be where we are today without your help. Happy holidays, and we look forward to seeing you in 2023.